I would want to call her. I would like go through our text messages and just be like, you know, like the concept of not being able to get a hold of you anymore when I talk to you every day was hard for me.
Few emotions rattle the soul more than grief.
Life could change in an instant with a lot of different variables that could cause that change.
Darian Simon still grieves, still hurts, still wonders why Bella Thallis, and why not him?
Somebody died next to me, somebody that I loved. How could you not blame yourself? How could you not feel guilt, you know, coming out of that? How could you feel like you deserve to survive when someone doesn't?
It is within this context.
Hey Darian, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Darian knows he must also learn.
We're gonna look at that femur, that right femur.
Learn how to heal.
Just stay there.
Modern medicine saved my life.
All right.
I've had 8 surgeries at this point.
X-rays tell his story well. Of the 24 bullets fired at him and Bella from the stranger's AK-47 2 years ago, 1 managed to obliterate his right femur. Since then, Denver Health's Dr. Cyril Moffrey has led a massive and unusual effort to repair it.
When you're in this with a patient, you're in this together. Any setback that he undergoes, it's a failure. We don't like failures.
I think I want my life to be defined by every minute that I chose to fight after that day.
Faced with what amounts to a non-existent bone in his leg, Darian's medical team learned how to confront a lesson in physics and biology.
Imagine a tree, the trunk of a tree with the whole middle segment that was gone, so the tree would fall onto its base. It's the same in a femur.
Initially, they replaced it with a metal rod, and then late last year, it snapped.
This was a major setback. He was getting out of the car and he felt a snap.
When I re-broke my leg, I called him and he answered. And it was at 10:30 at night.
He was on the ground when he called me.
And I just remember being like, oh no, there's only a couple people that will know how to fix this.
Fix it, Dr. Moffrey attempted to do.
That is the first X-ray.
And ultimately fix it for good. He finally,
But here is where we are today.
appears to have done.
And you can see here, your body has formed a pretty remarkable amount of new bone.
He describes his work as lots of metal, lots of it. Plates, screws, nails, cages, yes, mesh cages, and bone graft.
So you think it's grown and you
For sure
build more
has.
muscle?
Yeah, it for sure has.
Excellent.
I don't trust my muscles as much, but I trust the hardware.
While it's not the end, we're not at the summit yet. I can see the summit. I think we're really close to it, as close as we've ever been.
Speaking of summits,
You remember that this is the last place that you were with them.
Darian Simon elected not to move away from the neighborhood that to this day has walls with evidence markers pinpointing bullet strikes.
You know, being over here isn't easy for me at all.
This is where Bella Thallis, his girlfriend, died as she and he walked Darian's dog.
I wish more people knew her. I wish more people got the chance to know her. I wish more people gave her a chance.
This is also where Darian bled for 35 minutes as paramedics waited for an okay to move in.
In that span of time, you tell yourself you're dead. You know, I remember being like, dude, you're dead.
Grief remains.
I think we're pretty good.
But for those souls that have felt its rattle, eventually, the rattle starts to feel different.
These are Bella's gloves. They're far too small for my hands. It makes me feel closer to her.
A garden now lives where a life was once taken.
It resembles resilience, it resembles beauty in the face of adversity.
The window the stranger fired from remains not too far away. Darian believes he's reclaimed the spot.
You know, this is my journey. It is scary. It is uncertain. But there's things that you can do to take control back over the situation.
A journey in grief, marked by a lesson in growth.
I want my life to be defined by the fact that I've made it this far. You know, that hiding from my trauma and not talking about it can feel small. accepting my trauma, accepting what I've been through, makes me feel like I survived for a reason.
Chris Vanderveen, 9 News.